Please take your seats as we have the address from our very own and very loved Lyn-Marie Christian.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Alrighty, so the gospel just now mentioned that a voice spoke to Peter and the others while they were out on the mountain with Jesus. And it said to them, "This is my son, my beloved, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." God told them clearly. He reminded them, "This is my son. Listen to him." Now, why do I begin my message like this? Let me ask you all a question. How many of you are familiar with the story of Jesus calming the storm? Just raise your hand if you are. Okay, good. All righty, so I would like someone to volunteer to read for me Matthew chapter 8, verse 24 to 27 in their Bible. Any volunteers? This is supposed to be interactive, by the way. No volunteers? Oh, okay. If you want to read it, just raise your hand for me. Oh, you want me to call it again? Matthew chapter 8, verse 24 to 27. Chelsea, you want to read it? She told me wait. You want to read it? Okay. All right. Oh, Auntie Melissa, thank you. Thank you so much. No, I don't think everybody heard that, so I'll just continue here. I'll give a simpler version. My message, hold on. My message today is going to be about Jesus calming the storm and what God told Peter and the others on the mountain. As we heard just now, but in simpler terms, Jesus was on a vessel with his disciples, and he was sleeping at the back of the boat. Meanwhile, everyone else is panicking because the sea is rough, the storm is raging, and they're afraid that they might drown. In Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41 version of this story, it is told the same way, but with a few more details. It says that the water began to fill the boat, and the boat was almost going under the water. Can you imagine all of this happening and Jesus just sleeping? Y'all can imagine that? Well, the disciples were frightened, as I would have mentioned. And in one of the versions of this story, it is said that they woke up Jesus and they said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" But what was his response? I told this story to the Sunday school before. Any of y'all want to tell me what Jesus did when he woke up? Yes, please, Hannah. Yes. So Jesus would have told them, "Don't be afraid." He got up and he said to the storm, "Stop, be still, be quiet," and everything calmed down. The disciples, in the end, being shocked, asked each other, "What kind of man is this? Even the wind and the water obey him." Now, even though we are told this is something that actually occurred, this story serves a bigger purpose. How many of us similar to the disciples, are always surprised when something in life that we're battling at a time turns around for you? What about you children? Have you ever felt overwhelmed about a school project and then you were surprised that you turn around and ace it? That ever happened to any of you? Exactly. In this case, when the disciples were surprised with how effortlessly Jesus said one command and things calmed, they asked, "What kind of man is this?" What did God tell Peter and the others in our gospel today? He said, "This is my son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. Listen to him. Trust him." We all have had encounters with storms. Not literal storms, but storms of life. Sometimes it could be the death of someone we care about. Sometimes it could be failing a class. Sometimes it could be losing a friend. Sometimes it's losing our jobs, or not having an idea of how you would get by financially until the next month. Sometimes it could be a breakup. We go through storms in our lives, and then we tend to lose our hope. We become shaky in faith. We ask for help, and sometimes we don't get it right away, and then we tend to panic. Just like the disciples, we might miss and ask Jesus, "Don't you care that I'm drowning? Don't you care, or don't you know that this storm is causing me a lot of pain?" But the majority of the time, Jesus eventually calms the storm. We may almost be fully submerged, but he finds a way for us. You want to know how I know that none of us have never fully drowned in our storms yet? Because we're still here. We're still here. We're here today. We still have our lives. And we're still able to see another day and be amongst each other. We may come out of one storm and be caught in another one. But what I want to remind you today, if you take anything away from this message, it's what God said to the others. Listen to Jesus. Trust Jesus. Trust God. It is easy to waver in our faith in the midst of hardships. It is easy when we can't see a possible solution. But remember that Jesus needs you to trust him so that he can easily calm your storm. The more you forget to trust him, the harder the storm rages. Let me repeat that. The more you forget to trust Jesus, the harder the storm rages. Even if you start to feel overwhelmed because of a situation, or you start to forget, at some point lean on him again and let him still your storms. At a Bible study I once attended, we broke down the story of Jesus in the vessel. And in my notes, I found this. Fear is natural, but you should not be ashamed of it. But it is not of God. Where there is fear, you don't have faith. It is like oil and water. Put the feeling of fear in its place. Peace and authority are present when you're walking with God. So I would have taught the Sunday school a song recently that I myself was taught when I was younger. And you sing these songs as children, but you don't realize how crucial they can be when you become an adult or when you're facing rough times. A day at work, I was feeling overwhelmed, and I caught myself randomly singing this song with tears in my eyes. It is as though my brain triggered the memory of this song, and it reminded me that though I was battling yet another storm at that time, to trust Jesus. He is in me, and I am his vessel, as you are his vessels. And though the storm at that time would have been raging, and I might have been shaken and rocked about, I can smile at it because I know that he will calm my storm for me. So now, I will ask the Sunday school if you could just stand with me and face the congregation, and we're going to teach you this song. So before I get them to sing it, I will show you the actions, because it has actions, right? The song goes with Jesus in the vessel. We can smile at the storm, by the way, is that. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Sailing, sailing on, sailing, sailing on. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. All right, Sunday school, you want to help me here? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Sailing, sailing on, sailing, sailing on. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Can the congregation help us sing it? I don't know if you want to stand, but it's up to you. But you saw the actions. So let's sing. Y'all knew this before? No? Okay, we're learning today. That's what the third Sundays are about anyway, so we're learning. Y'all ready again? Let's show them. Ready? With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Sailing, sailing on, sailing, sailing on. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. One more time. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. Smile at the storm. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Sailing, sailing on, sailing, sailing on. With Jesus in the vessel, we can smile at the storm as we go sailing on. Thank you so much. All right. So y'all can say yes, please. So there's another song that I wanted to raise quickly, but you can do it seated. But this one has also had an impact in stressful situations, and it reminds us that Jesus is a solid foundation, and we just have to trust his word. So I don't know, I hope you know this one, but it goes, Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my trust in your holy word. I put my trust in your holy word. Join me. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I know I can stand secure. Jesus, you're my firm foundation. I put my trust in your holy word. I put my trust in your holy word. Thank you again. So as we see with these two choruses, music and our readings, these are some of the tools that can help us to always call, or that we can always call on to remember what God taught us and to remember what God tells us. Listen to Jesus. Trust Jesus. Only he has the ability to calm our storms to complete stillness. Only he can move our mountains. He alone can shelter us from the rain. So though we may be afraid or overwhelmed by the raging storms of life, have faith in Jesus so that he can just say, be still, be quiet, stop, and your storms will be calmed. And what do we get at the end of any storm, like an intense rain? What do we see in the sky when the rain stops? Anybody want to tell me? A rainbow, exactly. There is beauty. There is always beauty and calmness after a storm. So I'll close here by just reciting the lyrics of one of my go-to songs by Nicole Mullane. I am so very ordinary, nothing special on my own. I have never walked on water, and I have never calmed a storm. Sometimes I'm hiding away from the madness around me, like a child who's afraid of the dark. But when I call on Jesus, all things are possible. I can mount on wings like eagles and soar. When I call on Jesus, mountains are going to fall, because he'll move heaven and earth to come and rescue me when I call. Weary brother, broken daughter, widowed lover, you are not alone. If you're tired and you're scared of the madness around you, if you can't find the strength to carry on, when you call on Jesus, all things are possible. Call him in the morning. Call him in the afternoon time, late in the evening, and he'll be there. When your heart is broken and you feel discouraged, you can remember that he said he'll be there. Thank you very much.